Hi guys, welcome to the webinar, the first webinar of Saturday. I'll just hand over the stage to Aditya to introduce Rohit Bhoite.
Hey guys, hi everyone. Hope you had a fantastic session before. I caught the last bit of it, and I think it was a good mix of marketing and Zen, and just life lessons. And we have a very exciting one today, the first webinar of Saturday, uh, with Rohit Bhoite. So Rohit always had an ardent passion for designs and structures, hailing from a family where architecture has been a legacy. He grew up shaping his career with an amalgamation of science, design, and business. With a diploma in interior design from Rachana Sansad Mumbai, where later he became a visiting faculty. This passion for design education took him to the next stage of becoming the HOD for interior design at ModArt. He further pursued his master's in interior and living design from Domus Academy, Milan, Italy. Worked there for a while and then came back to Mumbai, worked under acclaimed architects for a few years before starting his own design studio in 2014. Their design services cover a wide range of projects from commercial, residential, hospitality, and they've taken numerous national and international projects, which is why today we've had him on board talking about homes, India and abroad by Rohit Bhoite. Okay, Rohit, take it away.
Hi, have you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So let me talk about first is the first slide which will come now. So this is how the whole process goes usually is our client or the developer comes up with a property where he's already purchased it and he tells us like Rohit, this is what we purchased and this is our local architect who's designed the structure for it in terms of see the image on your right is right now an old existing house which they will develop and make it bigger and then sell it in the market. So you need a local architect who makes the drawings and gets the passing from the council and stuff. So after this, we usually get AutoCAD drawings for elevations, which we recommend designs towards. So these are one of the few ideas. Then we pitch across to clients is this is the color scheme what we will recommend for a house which is proposed by your architect. Then if you see that what we usually do is we will mix up the local products which we've like either picked up samples from or we've gone to the quarries or we've gone to the showrooms to see the materials. So from our own case studies we think that these combination looks really well. For example, right now this is a burnt brick with a off-white stucco on top. So we thought that this combination goes well. So we give them one or two options to really understand is what option works because as any client, everyone says that what if we use a different material? How does it look? So I think here are two, three options. I'll just go through them. That's the third one. So here we've just tried a green roof for a difference. Then this is one with a wooden roof with a copper ceiling. And then we end up making some illustration for a better understanding of. So after a few rounds of meetings, webinars and stuff, so the investors, the multiple investors and us, we sit together and we formulate saying that, I think this Indiana stone, if you see the lower part, this is a stone called the Indiana stone, which we've used for cladding material, and on top we've used limestones. So this combination is what is approved between both the designers team and the clients, and then we go ahead and then we give it out to the 3D renderer to make the rendering, and then again then every stage of design comes to play, which I think the best thing to do right now, Aditya, would be to show you each process of how things goes one by one. So labor is to be very honest, they are so precise. They are so precise that half your job is done for you in terms of,
Hmm.
as a designer, what our job is to build a dream and to sell it to the client, say that this is what we want it to look at, this is how it to feel, these are the technicalities to build it. The rest of uh, the burden is on the labor or the contractor to make that vision come through. Most of the time what happens with untrained or not aware of more international designs or platforms or techniques, you end up doing half their job.
Hmm.
So so rather than concentrating on what your core business is of designing, you are concentrating more on the execution part. So there I think the focus while doing a project where you have a very equipped team, your focus doesn't shift. And clients are also very specific in terms of, we have very strict contracts here. Is you do what your job is. It's so defined that this is my job, and everything else after this is this guy's responsibility. It's given, and it's followed. Unlike back home, what happens is you end up then doing half the contractor's job, half
Yeah,
the
right.
technical person's job. And it's of course we can do it, there's no one saying not to do it. The thing is, it's just that the time goes, rather than building up the project design wise a little better, you end up doing the more technical part, which is, it is known. Like, it's not that we know something more than what they know.
Right. So, there's actually a follow-up question to that from Ankita. Can you point out some design practices or construction methods that we need to adapt here in India to make the whole process seamless? I mean, I know that's a huge question, but do you have anything for that?
I'll do that after the whole presentation. Just be remind me.
Done. We'll come back to it.
Okay. There is so much to say, but the thing is, we'll lose the link of
Exactly,
the
yeah.
presentation. So we have a practice in our studio to always do everything through scale. If you think that it can go in your space, let's try to put it in an elevation or the technical drawing. So we tried that, it looked well. Then client is like, okay, let's go ahead with this, do the whole costing of it, like how much does it cost. Then he's like, okay, let's do the framework for it first. For example, we do the shell of the wall cladding, the ceiling, the lighting, and leave the buying out item for the last. And the best part about is when you see your whole vision come true by a 3D render, which ended up looking something like this. Is So this is what we proposed for one of the rooms for this existing house, and we are on the way to build this. So that's the fun part.
This is beautiful. It's like right out of Pinterest, and something that you'd save to your collection, and you've literally done that. You've gone beyond that. It's just perfect. Uh, so Rohit, how is it like working with the clients there in terms of you know working with them to procure stuff, for items, objects, artworks, rugs? How does it work there? How is it different there?
So art, let's start with art, because I think art is like believed in, like from the core, like in terms of everyone would know artists, would follow artists, or would have someone which whose work they love a lot.
Hmm.
And so what happens is, when you're having these design conversations with them, that okay, I want the room to be a bit soothing with some earthy textures to it. Like, I want my rug to have some textures. When you walk on it, your legs need to have some beach vibe to it. And then the room, I don't want it to be too shiny, or like, if you're talking design to them in any aspect, they grab onto it. And then they will say that, okay, you know what, I want this artist's work to be here. Or they will pull out some images and say like, oh, I want this artist, I follow this artist. So it makes our life easier, because their vision and their exposure is to a wider palette. And I think that for any architect or interior designer, it'll make their life easy. So Aditya, I'll give you another example, which was the fun part of our project. Is then we had to do a formal living, because such big houses, when you have 7 rooms and stuff, people want to come. Uh, People who come for like a formal meeting or just a chat to your house, you don't get them completely inside the house. You just have a formal area where you have like a small little meeting, and then they carry out from there itself. So while making a formal living itself, so this was the smallest space, but it was still the most toughest space for me, because you had to have the vibe of being a home and also being formal at the same time. So we formulated these images, and we thought that this goes really, really well together with going with the vibe of the house. Again, the same exercise we followed of making technical drawings to see that if things are looking well, are they in proportion, should we change things around, and then this was the final product of it. Is so this is what we're gonna build. Aditya, you still online, or you?
Yep, yep, yep. We can see your screen, but it's not full screen anymore.
Uh, I will make it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that looks amazing. I mean, it's perfect. The tones and everything.
I think with design, it's easy. Like it, you just have to reflect what your whole aura is, or what you believe in is, and that your work should start reflecting. I think it's easy. It's not that difficult. The only thing is we put it in our head that I want to do something better than someone else. Don't do that. Just do what you are best at.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Rohit and Aditya. This was a very insightful session. Guys, stay tuned for our next session, which is starting in 5 minutes. It's about lighting, and we have somebody who has studied about lighting again abroad. He's learned in Singapore, and he brings in that international perspective as well. So let's just wait for 5 minutes and start the next session. Thank you, Rohit and Aditya, for doing this.
Thank you, Aditya.
Thanks,
Thank
bro.
you,
This was
Ritika.
awesome. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Take care.